It's all need psychological help.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. My name is Adrian. I'm a recovering addict empowering lives. Very grateful to be live this evening and to be sharing my story with you guys. It won't be that long. But I just want to start off by saying it's an honor for me to carry the message this evening. I trust that everybody is well. I know that everybody is doing fine because we do serve a power that is greater than ourselves, and that is God. And He takes care of everybody and everything, even the little bees, the birds. So we don't have to worry whatever it is that we're struggling with, even in this corona time as well. And it's an honor for me to be sitting this evening here to carry the message and to share the message. To be sober this evening, to be sober on a Friday, to wake up sober this morning. Those are the things that I'm grateful for. Those are the things we should all be grateful for. To be in a safe environment, to be surrounded by people that love us, to be surrounded by the support and the care that's around us. I think if we don't have that, or when I had that at first while I was using drugs, I didn't take note of it. I didn't see it, didn't realize it. I always thought it was just about me, myself and I. That's the self-centeredness of our addiction. But this evening it's an honor to have that spiritual awakening, to know that I can share that around people that's around me this evening. Especially with Mr. Anthony Hall, the founder of the RAEL organization, and Mr. Kurt Schuler as well, the general manager of the RAEL organization, and the rest of the leadership that is with us as well, and even the guys that are in the program, but also to the people watching this evening that is out there, because RAEL is just not on the farm. RAEL is out there in the world as well. The support and the love comes from out there as well. It encourages us that's in recovery to push through. It encourages us to keep on doing what we need to do to stay sober. And it's an honor, like I said, to be sitting this evening to share that message. I just want to start off by saying that I'm not going to say a lot. I'm just going to start off from the first time I came here, to how I left here, and when I came back as well. And I'll end off with something short that I'll read out of the basic text that I have, and end off with it just for today. And when I first, just before I came into RAEL for my first time, Mr. Hall already knew who I was before I even came to the farm. So I couldn't come here and try and put him a kop on like us addicts try and do, and put people a kop on. He knew my whole life story. He knew exactly where I came from. He knew exactly what I was busy doing. He knew my mother for a very long time before I came here. He's been helping my mom since that time. He's been helping my mom with my sister as well, because I still have a sister that's still on the streets, that's using heroin, probably right now as I'm sharing. And that's why I still carry this message this evening as well. Not just for her, but for other suffering addicts that are out there as well. And moving on swiftly, I came onto the farm. I remember the first day that I came here and I got booked in. It was Mr. Hall and Graham that was sitting together. And I came into the doors. My pants was hanging. I had earrings in my ears. I had a silver chain on my neck. I had this, this type of strolls, type of role that I came in here like I was like I owned the place. And one thing I love about Mr. Hall, he's straight, young. He puts his foot down. He tells you straight like it is, how it is, who he is, and what he can do for you and how he can help you. Whether you like it sometimes, what you are hearing, or whether you don't, man. But he put me straight in the school in front of my mother. I think my mother didn't know where to put her face, because she was so embarrassed of the state that her son was in. Because she never raised a boy like this. She raised me with good morals, good values, with respect, with discipline. She provided and gave me everything that she could, even still this day. And I gave that all up for drugs and alcohol, man. And I don't think my mother knew where to put the face, but also at the same time, I think that she enjoyed it because she liked hearing that stern hand and that stern discipline being put in me. And immediately when I got put into the school, while I was sitting there, I didn't like what Mr. O was telling me. Obviously because of what I thought in my mind, with a closed mind that I came in, with the attitude that I came in, thinking that I know it all, that I know this. I've been to other rehabilitations before. And this is not my first one. I can rehab talk you so drunk that you would think I am a rehab at the end of the day, of the cliches that I know. But even though I knew so much, I wasn't doing the things that I was saying. And that's why it never worked for me before. And Mr. O put me in the school, Graham got me a belt. I still have that belt today. It's almost 3 years that I'm on the farm. I still have that belt. I still wear that belt because it reminds me from where I come from. And now my pants is up, obviously. Now my shirt is tucked in. Now I dress myself neatly. And it's all because I got corrected the first day I was here. Till this day that I am here, I still do get corrected as well. But the beautiful part of it is the growth that I had to accept correction till this time. Because in my first 8 months that I was on the farm, or let me say my first 6 months, I struggled and it was difficult for me, obviously. Coming from an environment that there was no manageability, obviously. Being on the streets, being involved with gangsterism type of things, being involved with drugs, robbing people, breaking into houses, you know, etc., etc., what it all comes from. And obviously I also had a job also. But I also had a full-time job also. And my other full-time job was me being an active addict. And giving up the job that was actually providing for my son, for my family, to take on that full-time job of being an active addict, you know. It was difficult for me my first 3 months here that I came the first time. I remember Mr. Hall sponsored me the first 3 months. I was here on the farm. I did the program. I struggled with devotions. I struggled with the duties that were given to me. I struggled with the work because I was very good at wearing a mask, pretending that I'm fine, it's okay what's being given to me. But it was battling inside of me. That did Mr. Schuler's talk about, that feeling versus doing feeling. I didn't see the purpose of doing the things that they were giving me to do because I didn't know why they were giving it to me. It made no sense to me. At that time it didn't. Because obviously, like in my mind, I thought I knew it all. I know what's best for me. I know what's gonna help me. I know, and in that 3 months, it proved to me also that I haven't surrendered completely. And that obviously came out after that 3 months. Because I could do everything right. I could do my duties properly. So I could work properly. I could say the right things in front of people, but deep inside and deep down, I wasn't being rigorously honest with myself, as the big book says. I wasn't being honest with other people about how I'm really feeling and what the battle is really inside of me. And Mr. Hall picked that up after the 3 months that I was here, and he corrected me on it, and he told me that I should stop it. And in that time, it changed for me, and he sponsored me another 3 months. He said, "Okay, AD." Because him and my mom discussed, I think they planned it and discussed it way before I even came to the farm, that I should stay a longer time, and the best thing for me is not to go back to Cape Town, not to go back to that environment, because obviously eventually I will pick up again. And Mr. Hall told me, "Okay, AD, what I can do for you is I'm going to sponsor you another 3 months. Now, I don't know who would do something like that, you know, would sponsor someone that they don't know, that they only know the family member of. I thought Mr. Hall wanted something from me, man. Maybe something back. Maybe there's a benefit, because I never got used to people giving me things without expecting anything in return, man. But that's not what Mr. Hall was about. All he wanted to see in me is to grow, to be to it, the potential that I have to grow and be a better person. That's all he wanted from me, and that's all he told me. I asked him, "Mr. Hall, what do you want from me? Do you want me to, if you want me to work, I'll scrub everything, I will scrub, I'll run around here, I'll run backwards, I'll do whatever I need to do, to But all he said to me, "No, AD, all I want from you is just for you to do your recovery." I couldn't understand and grasp that. It blew my mind away, because I've never met anybody else that would do something like that for someone, to invite him in their own home, to have them stay here, to find their recovery, and for them to want him to stay on. And at the same time also, while after he sponsored me my second 3 months here, he told me, we see how well you do in your recovery, we see what you need to do, and I'll get you a job. And Mr. Hall's words wasn't even cold, because I think he already planned it out for me, that he had a job in line for me already. And in 5 months, the first time I was here, I got the job. And I started working. But it doesn't mean that these materialistic things that was given to me, that I didn't give Mr. Hall trouble, that I wasn't hard with him, that I wasn't difficult with him also. He knew exactly till this day how to handle me. And I love him for that, man. I love him with all my heart for that, because why? If it wasn't for Mr. Hall, I wouldn't be sitting here this evening. For the grace of God, obviously, but working through him for me to be sitting here to share this message. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have been carrying this message, to have this honor to carry the message to you guys. But it wasn't difficult. I also gave Mr. Hall trouble. There were a few occasions that he wanted to put me off his farm, obviously of the things that I've done, of the responsibilities that he's given me, that I almost put his name in a bad light, man. And I think I did do that. And I think I also mostly disappointed him also, because he knew the potential that I had. He could see it, but I wasn't acting to the best of my ability, and he knew that. And it was a struggle for him. It was a struggle for me at the time. You know, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to turn to. But I still got the job. I still woke up. I still did what I had to do. I still had the morning devotions with the sober livings like we used to have. I remember with Auntie Karen still being here and giving us the morning devotions as well, having the message and going to work. And I just felt at that time, at my stage in my recovery, in that 5 months going on to 6 months, I was battling and I was struggling. It was very hard for me. But after what had happened came out into the light, I started surrendering and working a solid program. And that's the best thing I could have done for myself as well. That my life just went from this to this. It grew automatically. And I thought it was of what I did, of what I was busy doing. You know, I wanted to take all the credit, but it doesn't work like that. Recovery doesn't work that way. We serve a power that is greater than ourselves, and it happens to have been God working in my life at the time. The peace and the serenity that I grew into. The moments and the quiet time that till this day that we still have in the morning, our morning devotions when the guys wake up. The routine is for me to make sure that they wake up, their rooms, their beds are made, their clothes are folded, we are all in the den, we have our quiet time, we make our time for God. And it's a very important time of the day for us to push us through. And that never stopped from me, you know. The responsibility, everybody wants to become a sober living on the farm. They think if you're 6 months, yeah, you are sober living. This is what you do. This is how it works. I did my program. I'm 6 months clean. Now become a sober living. Because they just want the benefits and the privileges that the sober living has. But they don't understand the responsibility that it comes with me. Sober living is not done of how long you are clean, man. You have to earn that. That's how I had to learn. You have to earn to be sober living. You have to work a solid program. You have to be a productive member. You have to be responsible enough. You have to be able to carry the message also to the newcomer that's coming in. Like I was a newcomer that came in here as well. And my life just grew from there onwards. I did well at work. I started making Mr. Hall happy. I started escalating in work. I got my PDP while I was on farm. I got my driver's license while I was on farm. I got my learners, everything, etc. And it was going very well for me. My family was happy for me. My mom stood behind me, behind everything. Tony, the mother of my child, supported me and still does till this day. My son was behind me. I was doing well. My family, my aunties, my uncles, they were very, very proud of me. Even my sister was very proud of me. And I only went back to Cape Town the first time I was here after a year. That was the boundary that was set up for myself. That I went back after a year only. And Mr. Hall told me, AD, the only time you're going over that mountain again is when you are here clean and sober. That's the only time you're going to get a cell phone also. Because people think when you're 6 months sober and you become sober living, you get the cell phone, you get the car, you get the privileges of going out there. I'm glad I never had it that easy. You get the mirror also, you know. You're sober living, now you can get the mate. Now I can bring my girlfriend to the farm and I can go out with my girlfriend. You know, these type of things that we... But it doesn't work that way, man. And I'm glad I never got it that easy as well. I had to earn and work for it. It only made me a better person at the end of the day. The program that I was working only made me a better person. The opportunity Mr. Hall gave me and how stern his hand till this day is on me only makes me a better person. Even though sometimes I don't like what him and Mr. Kurt is telling me when they correct me, I take it and accept it and take it from where it comes from at the end of the day. And if I don't like it and if I don't do what they are asking me to do, that is going to help me save my life to make me a better person, then there's obviously a reservation in my program that I'm working that is not helping me out to accept and have an open mind to what is being said to me. To be willing to listen. And to be honest enough to carry it out, to push through. And I went home after a year, and that's when I saw my sister after a year for the first time. She walked into the door, into the lounge. She didn't know I was there. It wasn't planned, it wasn't anything. I was sitting there with my mother, we were having dinner, and my sister walked in, and that was a God-given moment for me when she walked in. This is the sister that's still on the streets, that's a heroin addict for over 20 years. The same sister that I used and abused mentally, emotionally, and physically for her to sell her body for drugs for me. This is that same sister that when she walked in the door, we never said any words to each other but hugged each other. We didn't speak about what we did. We didn't speak about what was done together. Nothing. We didn't want to know from each other who or what we used with. That wasn't important. We just had that brother and sister moment at that time. And I felt the relief coming off my shoulders, off my chest at the time. That my mother was standing aside and she was crying because I'm being reunited with my sister. And that gave my sister even hope for her wanting to still this day reach out for help as well. You know? And it was only a blessing for me to be able to carry that message. But that didn't come easy. That only came of the program that I was working, of the opportunity that got given to me and that I took with both hands to be on a RAEL farm, to be part of a RAEL, to live RAEL. Because RAEL is a lifestyle that you live, man. You are recovered. You start enjoying life and empowering lives at the same time. You know? And then I came back to the farm after that weekend, after I saw my sister. I did what I was supposed to, got the job. And then it came to a point where the company that I was working for got retrenched and it had to close down, and it put me in a very difficult spot. And at the same time also I had relationships problems with my baby mother. And I wasn't in a liquor space, but still I wore a mask and I started pretending that everything was alright. But I wasn't fine, I wasn't good, I wasn't doing okay. And I lied to Mr. Hall, and Mr. Hall could see that, but he wasn't going to tell or say anything. Everybody around me could see it. But Adrian thought that he knew best, that he knows what exactly he needs to do. And one weekend I went home. Mr. Hall told me before I went home that weekend. And I've been on the farm for 17 months at that time. He said to me, Adi, I'd rather stay the weekend, wait till I come back, and then you can go home. No, Mr. Hall. I want to go home. I must go do something. I want to be there for my son. I want to do this. I want to do that. But, in my mind already, before I left, I started to become dry. I stopped working my program. I stopped waking up like I was supposed to. I stopped making my bed like I was supposed to. I never made that quiet time for God anymore like I used to. The passion wasn't there anymore. I lost it. I became dry. That's what you call a dry drunk syndrome. I was white knuckling it through, you know. And Mr. Hall warned me and he told me, Adi, don't go home, rather stay, man. Why don't you stay, my boy? Wait till I come back and we sort things out and then you can go. You know, you can go for as long as you want to, my boy, and you can come back. I said, no, Mr. Hall, I must go. And I left. And it wasn't even a day or two that I was out there, and I picked up after 17 months of hard effort, hard work, of sponsored that I've been, hard support system that was put into me, a lot of money that was put into me, even still this day, that helped me to be a better person. It wasn't even 2 days that I was out there, and I picked up again, and I started using, and in that 3 weeks that I was out there before I came back now my second time, contacted me once. He said to me, ID, I know what happened. Your mother told me everything because I still thought I could lie to him while I was out there, that I was doing fine and I'm okay, I'm gonna get a job and this is happening. But that wasn't happening. Obviously, Mr. Hall knew what was going on. But still, he was willing to help me, man. Now, I don't know about anybody else out there in the world, but with the heart that Mr. Hall has to open up his door still to me and offer me, yeah, come back, AD. You can still come back, my boy. You can still make things right. It doesn't have to go first and it doesn't have to get any more worse than what it is. I said, no, Mr. Hall. Pride was killing me at the time. Pride stood in my way. I said, no, Mr. Hall, I'm alright. I think I'm fine, eh? I got it from here. I remember the words, the foundation is laid solidly. And Mr. Hall told me, what foundation, my brother, you picked up? So which means it's broken, it collapsed. You need to start from scratch. And I didn't want to start from scratch because I was too proud, man. I was too proud to accept the help again the second time. Until, in that 3 weeks, it went deeper and deeper and deeper that I was back on the streets again. So after 17 months, after everything that I achieved, look how quick I lost everything in 3 weeks. In 3 weeks, that's how fast this disease takes us down. It might take Johnny down the road 3 years, but downhill Johnny's gonna go. But it took me 3 weeks. Downhill I went, man. Back into that pit. And I contacted Mr. Ho, I contacted Mr. Sule in that time. And they said, okay, you can come back, AD. But this is how it's gonna be. You back into the program. You back onto picking up the dog poo. You back onto the duties list. You're not gonna come back and think that it's a happy-go-lucky that you're gonna have what you had before you left here. You need to start from scratch and put your pride back into your pocket. And it made a feeling inside of me, but I thought, you know what, that's only gonna save me. I have to. And I remember Mr. Schuler was still in Cape Town at the time, and he offered to give me a lift back up to here. And I said, Mr. Kurt, look here, I'm gonna come and I'll meet you at a certain place and you can pick me up there and then we can shoot through and come. Was I there at 12 o'clock? No, I wasn't. Because it was interfering with my using time. It was more important for me to smoke myself to a standstill because I was telling myself, like Mr. Hall says, I always want that more, that last one. Not realizing that last one could have killed me. That last one could have prevented me from getting till here even. But no, I want that last one. Just one more time, just one more time, just one more time. Miss, man. That when I found it at after 1, I contacted Mr. Kurt. I told him, Mr. Kurt, hey, I got the love. Are we gonna meet up? Mr. Kurt told me, AD. Let me tell you something what Mr. Hall also told me to tell you, man. You need to get yourself here to the farm. You need to figure out your own way to get here. But not as nice as the way I'm saying it. It was told to me straight, man. You got yourself into that predicament. The same effort that you put in when you are honest enough with yourself to tell yourself you smart to use, no? Open-minded enough when someone comes to me like Keenan, come and tell me, AD, look here, the weg is more steek here down the road. But if you go further, it's more steeker. So, you know, open-minded to take that suggestion. Yeah, okay, right, it's more further, but I'm going to listen to what Keenan say and willing enough to walk that distance to get it. That same effort I have to put in to get back to the farm. And that clicked to me. Because that's the way Mr. Kurt put it to me. Straight. Straight, not babying me, nothing like that, man. Telling me straight, either you get yourself here or you don't. And if you don't come today, then don't even think of coming, man. That's what Mr. Hall's words was to me. If you don't come today, AD, don't even think of coming back to the farm. Don't waste my time anymore, man. I'm trying to help you, my boy, man. You're like a son to me. I'm trying to help you. But if you're not going to listen to me, if you're not going to take what I'm telling you, then it's on your own fault, man. On your own conscience. I'm not going to carry the blood on my hands. Because I'm trying to help you, my boy, man. And I thought to myself, yeah, I got to get back to the farm, yo. And that same effort that I was used to doing of selling stuff to get my drugs. I sold my phone, yay. I got money. I got myself to Belleville Station. I took a taxi from Belleville Station to Worcester. I got off at Rosenville. This was past 8. From Rosenville, I walked out of Rosenville to the RAEL farm. And the RAEL farm is just further up close to Dumont is actually in Dumont, close to Rainbow Chicken, and it's quite a distance. Dark road. And I thought to myself while I was walking, you know what? I have to do this for myself, man. That was actually that test became a testimony that I'm telling you this evening. It was dark on the road. I was alone. I was walking, and I just told myself, I just gotta get back. I just gotta get back. I just gotta get back. I didn't even know what the time was, because by the time I came onto the gravel road after that long walk, after hallucinating, thinking I'm seeing people because I didn't sleep for days, seeing people on the road, they're trying to rob me, they're trying to whatever with me. Every car that's driving past, I'm trying to hike and I'm fluking the car that's going past me. But I'm walking, and I came onto the gravel road, and that sense of relief came off me. But now then I thought to myself, hey, is Mr. Hall gonna open up the door for me when I come? What am I gonna do now if he says, hey, AD, it's too late, eh? Hey, and then I started tripping, but I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna walk, and I came with what I had on my back, man. With a full Nike, like Angus would say. I came to the gates. I opened up the gate. And I came to the door. And you know what, when I opened up the door, there was no questions of, where do you come from? Why are you here? What are you doing here? Because Mr. Schuler walked straight up to me and he gave me a hug. Mr. Hall got up and he gave me a hug. The sober living that was sitting in the lounge at the time all got up and they gave me a hug, man. They welcomed me with open arms, not looking down on me, not judging me, not telling me you mad, what are you stupid, are you crazy? Mr. Hostel even scuffed me out and told me, AD, why didn't you tell me you were walking so far? I would have come and fetched you. You know? And they never wanted anything from me. They were just glad that I came back and that I'm safe here. But also at the same time, Mr. Hall rang the bell, because everybody still went to bed. That was past 11 in the evening. And he had an evening. And he used me as a message to other people. And he said, this is the result sitting here. There's that man sitting. Came in here, got a good job, was 17 months clean, was doing very well for himself. He fell. Why did he fall? Because of this. Myra. Because of this. And everybody just looked at me and they thought, okay, this is the AD that Mr. Hall was always talking about. And now I'm back. And I knew I had to start from scratch again. And immediately I got put into the program again. I got asked, after the meeting, I got asked if I ate something. I got a plate of food. I got a hot shower. I got a warm bed. A couple of hours, 24 hours ago, I never had these things, man. I never had it. What I'm trying to show you guys and share with you guys this evening is how God works, man. Of how powerful it is and how huge Mr. Hall and Mr. Schuler's heart is, how huge RAEL's heart is, man. Because they didn't have to do that, man. You know? Because I came literally from the streets, man. Like another guy that came in here from the streets as well. But I was willing, man. They knew that my back was completely against the wall. I knew my back was completely against the wall. I had to surrender. And I've accepted that the only solution to my problem is recovery. And I wanted that, man. I wanted back what the enemy has taken from me, man. Till this day, I'm fighting for it as well. I'm not giving up, man. And I did my program. I did the dog poo. I did the duties. I did the fat trap. I did the windows. I looked after the animals. I picked up the animal poo. I was back into the compost area. Now these people that say here on the farm they do hard labor and hard work. I don't know what is hard labor and hard work, because the work that is being done on the farm here is working towards my recovery. Because the first thing that it does, it lets me step out of laziness. And laziness is one of the deadly sins that keeps us back and holds us back from doing our recovery. That is why we work here on the farm. And we don't work for Mr. Hall. We don't work because of the sake of getting a kroon. It's for your life, my bro. How can you say it's hard labor? I can't fathom it on my head, man. I don't think people know what hard labor is. By getting your hands a little bit dirty here and there. What about the stuff you were putting in your body, man, before you came here, man? Now you want to complain about a little bit of sand on your hands. You were putting stuff into your system that was killing you, man. You didn't worry what you were taking into your system. Everybody comes in here and says, yeah, I know what dacha this is, and I know what lolly and what work, and it's white work and yellow work. Did you go Google what this stuff do to your brain and what you are putting into your system? The ingredients that are in here. Now you work with a little bit of sand and you say this is hard labor. My brother, you need to get your story right, man. You've been putting filth into your system for a very long time, and you come here to a place that is trying to help you be a better person, to step out of laziness, to do a little bit of work, not for anybody but yourself, and then you complain about it. I can't get that, man. It doesn't penetrate here through my brain, you know. But hey, maybe that's just how that person is. There are those unfortunates, they are not at fault. I did my program, like I said, I finished it, I did the work, and then, you know, for me to step up my recovery, I started doing extra. But also at the same time, Mr. Hall never put too much responsibility on me because he knew I came back the second time. He knew how hard the knock was. So there were certain boundaries for me also of where I had to work the program the second time as well. And it wasn't easy. It still isn't for me as well. Anything that I do wrong in front of Mr. Hall, he cucks me out straight. Sorry for swearing. But he tells me straight, even Mr. Schule, even Graham, even Angus as well. Even Carl that is with us, even Lincoln that is with us here in the house. They put me straight in the school and tell me this is what you're busy doing, it's wrong, AD. Come now, my brother. And I get pulled back immediately and back into line again. But that's that stern hand that is on me that is keeping me in line. And I did my program the second time now, like I said. I'm going for 8 months clean. I went home. This is what I want to not close off, but I went home after 8 months. I went back to Cape Town for the first time after 8 months. I never spoke to my son in the 8 months I was here. Not because I didn't want to. Not because I couldn't also. But because Adrian had to focus on himself first. Never spoke much to my mom also because Adrian had to focus on himself. I never told anybody I was coming back here the second time. They contacted Mr. Ho and they found out that I was here. And they saw obviously the pictures and the videos. But Adrian had to start taking responsibility for his own life and do something about his problem. My mother is not going to do it for me. My friends, I don't see any friends around me. My family can't do it for me. Neither can my son do it for me. Neither can Maida, what I was running for, can do it after me as well, man. Only I could do it for myself. And I'm glad I worked my program like that, and I still do. With that boundaries that he set in front of me. Where my yes is my yes and my no is my no. Because I know exactly where I'm at in my recovery as well. And Mr. Hall gave me the job opportunity to be part of the leadership team here, which I still am part of. And what a great honor it is, you know, to be doing that, because he wouldn't put me in this position that I'm in now if he knew I wasn't ready for it. And it comes with a very big responsibility. And it's only a simple responsibility for me to continue to do my recovery. So I don't make it too complicated for myself. I do my recovery. I do obviously that extra effort that I have to put in to be of service. And at the same time, the best reward I'm getting is sobriety at first hand. And I continue to push through and do it. Very strict about it, very disciplined about it as well. It's not about any money or anything like that. It's empowering my life at the end of the day to be a better person. And I love it. That this weekend when I went home, I just want to share this part. I went home the Sunday. I sat down, I spoke with my mom. I spoke about what happened. And we moved on from there. It was beautiful. My mom told me straight, you know what, my boy? You on your own now. I'm very, very proud of you of what you did. I understand why you never said anything. You took responsibility for yourself. And you're doing something about your problem. At least your son will know that you are trying, my boy. As he grows up, he will know that his father tried and he's doing something about it. To be a present father. To be a good son to my mother. The Monday I saw my aunts and my uncles. And I picked up my son, obviously. That went with me to visit him. But the paranoia that was in my mind prevented me from enjoying that time with my family, that moment. Because of the paranoia in my mind that I was thinking is, what are they going to think of me now the second time? Are they going to wait for me when I'm going to fall again? Are they going to see what's going to happen? You know? And it was nothing like that. They were just glad to see me. But in my mind, I was making up in my mind, miskien dink my familie van my, ek is hier regie. Hy is mal alweer, ek wag net tot hy weer val, ek praat weer nonsens of ek het doen. You know, that's the paranoia that was running in my mind. And in the evening, I spoke with my mom about it. I told her, you know, Mom, I felt a bit uneasy around the family and this and that. And she said, no, my boy, it's not about that. That's just you thinking in your mind. That at the end of the day, you mustn't really worry what people think about you. You know what you are busy doing. And you know exactly where you are at. And you know that you're in the right space. Because if you weren't, your family wouldn't be around you and your son wouldn't be around you. But the second day that I was there before I came home, I spent the whole day with my son. Now, I don't know if you recall the meeting that I had before. All that little boy wanted from his father wasn't money. It wasn't nappies. It wasn't milk. Okay, that's necessity. I have to buy that and beer. You know, I have to pay papgeld like Mr. O calls it. But that boy never wanted that from me. All he wanted from his father was to kick ball with me, to push car, to ride on the bike, to jump on my back, to bite my feet, to kiss my cheek, to hug me, for me to wash him and bath him. You know, those type of things that boy wanted from me. And I was capable of doing that while I was with him. I spent the whole day with him. We jumped on one another's backs. We kissed each other. We hugged each other. I changed his nappy. I washed him. He says, Daddy soap, give me soap. I give him the soap. He knows exactly how to wash him. His mother is raising him very well. You know, I take my hat off to Tony. Thank you very much for raising our son so well, even though I wasn't present. It's beautiful to see how my boy is growing. I know that he's in safe hands, you know. But I spent that bond with him. Man. He didn't want anything else from me. He comes to me, Daddy, noodles. Then I must make him noodles. Daddy, banana. Now I give him a banana. Daddy, apple. Give him an apple. Eating healthy, you know. That father and son bond I had alone with him, and it was beautiful. That it allowed me to step out of that isolation in my mind, of that paranoia that was keeping me blocked from my family, of what they're gonna think of me. That my son was comfortable because he knows who his dad is, man. He never forgot his dad. You know? And it's an honor for me to be able to be that type of father. It's like I can cry while I'm sharing this, man. And it's all simply because I'm doing my recovery. It's all simply because I'm doing that. And that's the best reward of my sobriety this evening. And I'm glad I could share that with you guys. And I hope that you got something out of what I was saying. You know, just for today speaks about that quiet time that we need to make with God. And the verse just comes to my head to share with you guys. It's just for you to be still and know that I'm God. And at this moment, I'm quiet to myself. I'm humble to myself and humble before God. Humble to the people that surround me as well. To know who's in charge, man, and that's God. It's all because of His grace and His mercy upon my life. And I'm able to carry the message to you guys. And I just felt that I wanted to share that part with you. It's a blessing. I don't want money. I don't want the best car. I don't want the best job or anything like that. I just want to be the best father towards my son, and that I was capable of doing that now. And that time I've spent with him is priceless, something money cannot buy. So thank you very much for listening to my message. I'm gonna let Mr. Hall come and speak now. Mr. Anthony Hall, Dr. Hall. He's gonna come and carry the message further on, and I hope you enjoyed my share. I love everybody. Thank you to your support. Thank you to the comments, to everybody who commented as well. Love everybody. Love to you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, good evening everyone. I think that was an amazing share from AD. Really, sure. And every word that he spoke there, you know, was the truth. You know, you get people that are born leaders, and you get people that are wannabe leaders, and then you get followers in life. Now, AD is a leader. What he went out and did after 17 months, many people around the world have done it. He obviously got complacent. He thought it got too easy, and things happened to him too quickly. But he never lost respect for the home or for my leadership. Okay, I did talk crap to his mother, but that's okay because his mother knew that he was Charuk. And I've known his mother for a long, long, long time. Well before, I think it was even before AD was born. But what we need to understand, I get many calls every day, especially after these live shares. It's increased, but there are many calls every day. Mr. Hall or Anthony, or call me what you like. Can you sponsor my son? I want to put this in context. Huh? I'm not, and I hate talking about money, man, because I don't, my name is not Becky Chelly and Zuma and Ramaphosa and those thieves. Not at all. But to put this in perspective, just sponsoring Adrian alone has come to 336,000 rand.
Yes, sir.
That's almost a 500,000. We get nothing from government, we get nothing from anywhere, but by God's grace that we are blessed. But you have to ask yourself, what is a man's life worth? It's not worth 336,000 rand. It's priceless. But then on the flip side of it, I get people who beg. I must tell you this one story, because I'm not going to talk long tonight. Because I hope you all saw my new dog. I got a new dog today, so I'm happy I got a new dog. Is that a man once phoned me and he said, you know, I'm desperate. I've got no money. Can I please sponsor his son? And out of this, Oak was crying over the telephone that the tears were coming through the phone and hitting me in the ears. I said, okay, sir, no problem. Bring him in. Huh? It's how we blessed who we get blessed. And he rocks up here in the top of the range Mercedes-Benz that I wouldn't even drive on a road. And he gets out with his son dressed in Gucci or something close. And then they go to the boot. I'll never forget it. I wanted to hit him over the wall. But you're not allowed to lift your hands here. You know the new constitution, cuck. And then he gets to the boot. And he brings out, I'm not lying to you now, about 7 or 8 packets from Woolworths. I check at this dude. I said, sorry sir, you got the wrong address, my brother. Are you sure you're not going to a guest house? Because here, this doesn't work this way. You're going to think you're going to load off your son by me. You're not going to pay us kroon. He's going to have the Woolworths luxuries. And then 10 to 1 run away when the Woolworths luxuries are over. So I told him nicely, get back in your car, go down into Worcester. There's a hotel called the Hotel Cumberland. And book in there. Don't come play our time, man. Because there's so many people who need help. I've sponsored hundreds of people. And I'm saying this humbly now. I've sponsored more people than any other rehab in South Africa.
Yes, sir.
If not in Africa, if not in the world. Because always 30 or 40% of the people are sponsored. And we get by quite nicely. If we haven't got meat, we just kill one of the alpacas and we eat meat. I'm only joking. Oh God, I'll have the animal fucking welfare onto me afterwards. We've always had plentiful supply of the highest grade of everything that we eat. Our food is top notch. My manager is a top chef. He's not a manchi chef. They're at the Portuguese shop on the corner. Nothing wrong with the Portuguese. I'm getting myself into trouble again. And by sponsoring it, but when I've seen some people that have come in for sponsorship, and I'm an easygoing guy. I'm not a hard-going guy. But I don't take shit, man. Because my life also depends on this. But if you're going to come into my place, and you're going to think that you're going to be entitled, and you're going to be as lazy as you were at your mother's house, then you must go back to your mother's house. Because then you haven't drugged enough. You're not going to appreciate what we give you. And it hasn't got any respect. So a lot of times, people will say, why do you sponsor this one and sponsor not that one? I've sponsored black people. I've sponsored colored people. I've sponsored white people. I've sponsored Muslim people. I've sponsored Indian people. Because I don't care what color skin there is. Because addiction doesn't discriminate. It doesn't worry if we're as rich as my girlfriend or as poor as me. That's irrelevant. Doesn't worry what the color of our skin is. It doesn't worry if we live in Bonteheuwel or Bishop Lavis or Bishop's Court. It's an equal opportunity destroyer. And when it's going to destroy you, it's going to eat you alive. So AD has come back. And I know I've seen more people. He was talking about the maida there. Hey, 80 marks the maida. So does Angus. And Graham. But Graham has now got a beautiful child. And then we got a guy, a Carl. We can't work him out yet. And we got Keenan and we got Junior. And the other guys are watching a movie tonight. We're sitting in the lounge with the dogs. And we're talking to a world about hope. And this young man gave you hope. But if he causes his shit again, that hope will turn to hopeless. You only get so many chances in life. I would always take him back. I love him like I've told him so many times. I love him like my own child, my own son. Like I love my girlfriend's children. That's the way I operate. Because you feel the blessing. Someone gives me a piece of cake, I'm happy. Someone comes and blesses me with a whole... brought animals here to be blessed. And they made biltong, no, not biltong, I'm talking shit. They made wors and they cut chops and they made mince. And we didn't have any fridge space. So if anyone out there got a deep freeze that is going for cheap, just let me know. And dog food. Because obviously I got another dog. Now I try to feed 10 dogs. But if you don't feed them, we'll feed them. But then I can maybe sponsor someone else. That's the con that we use from Kham. And if we can't enjoy ourselves, if I can't sit back here tonight, 15 years sober and a couple of days, grateful for anything I get. Sometimes the guys come to me that know I like Fritos chips and I like Coca-Cola. And they come from work or they come from out of town. They've gone to the shops and they come back with a packet of Fritos. The Kham come back with that small one. And then the whiteys come with a big one just because they want more benefits. And a Coke. That to me suffice, man. That to me is caring. When my girlfriend comes and brings me a chocolate, that's caring. Don't bring me other things, man. That's why people have asked me, why haven't you approached the government for money? Because I don't want dirty money, man. Whoever pays the piper plays the tune. And I don't want those skellums playing my tune, man. I just want to help young men. We help women on an outpatient basis, or we send them to the rehab in Montague. We go to schools, we go talk anywhere, and it becomes a life calling. What more do we want when we talk about our daily bread? I've had food tonight. I had a shower this morning. My mother is doing well. We had a lot of fun. I don't know if you saw my mother with a cigarette. She used to smoke and she had the cigarette in her mouth this morning. And we had a lot of fun with Mom. I had 2 hours with my mother until she went into her other world. I had 2 hours of my mom this morning. Nothing can beat that. That's what Adi was talking about. When he said he was with his child and he just wanted, Daddy come, let's play ball. Daddy, let's jump on your back. That's what us addicts love now. The flashy days are gone. They're over. They're done. They're under the bus. We just want to be happy, man. Because we're grateful for what we've got today. We're grateful for how we are blessed in so many different ways. We don't have to be blessed in financial ways, man. Because that's the first thing that goes when a country goes, man. But if you can be blessed in other ways with kindness. Seen people grow in recovery. Man knocks on the door and he says, here's 10 packets of this for you guys. Our stores are full. And why did we do that? Because we knew this virus was happening. So we had to make a decision. Either we do and we stock up, because there's people's lives at stake here. I heard today in my mom's old age home, where I took her out, and I fought with lawyers. And I phoned my lawyer today to thank him, but he thanked me, so it's okay. 7 people have died since my mom left that old age home. Thank God. Thank God I wasn't sober, I wasn't drunk. Thank God I wasn't drugged. That I could make a decision. Mother. That's precious. That's a blessing. And that's what I teach the boys here every single night. Honor thy mother and father. Don't do what this man did. Honor thy mother and father at all times. They've been through hell and back. They've been through hell and back through our addiction. And I'll do that meeting next week on the suffering of the parent and the suffering of loved ones, of the hell that we have put them through. So anyway, thank you very much for listening to AD. It was an incredible talk. It was so honest. It was actually brutal. And I can tell you now, he's leaving the Maida alone for a while. And Maida is all colours, eh? Black, white, colour, they're all Maida. They're all Maida. It's not, remember in the old days, Maida was coloured, it's not that, so please don't go and charge me at the Human Rights Commission tomorrow. I already got the government want to put bullets in my head. Yeah. But it was brutally honest, man. And that's what we need more. If we're going to pussyfoot with each other, you're going to bury your child. If you want me to be a pussy, you're going to bury your child. I'm firm, I'm straight, I'm honest, I'm reliable. I will never lift my hands. But if you step out of line, I'm not your mother, I'm going to tell you exactly where you stepped out of line. You don't like it, hit the road, someone else can come in. Because we have to be hard with love. Tough with love. Discipline with love. It says it in the Bible. I never wrote the Bible. But it's worked for a lot of addicts that have come, and alcoholics that have come into RAEL. We get the people like you heard AD talking with passion. We passionate people, man. Because we get up very early in the morning, and sometimes 2 o'clock in the next morning we go to sleep. We don't have much of a social life, even when there's no lockdown. But we got a lot of cigarettes. And we've got every brand of cigarettes.
Yes, sir.
And my connections has got every brand. If you're willing to come to Worcester to pick it up. So if you need cigarettes, I'm not going to make any money on it. I'm not money uitgevriet. For those who know me, Anthony, he will give his shirt off his back. But if you want cigarettes, stuff this government, man. I will get you any cigarettes at a very good price. And you will pay exactly what I get it for. This government's not going to conquer us like they conquered our children, man. I'm not going to see my kids go and smoke drugs because they haven't got cigarettes. 17, 18 years old, 16 years old, 15 years old, 14 years old. If we don't stand against these bastards, we're going to be burying our children before we even know. We're at war here, man. We're at war against the government, and we're at war against addiction. We're at war against the drug dealers, and we're at war against the corrupt policemen, the corrupt judicial system, the corrupt correctional service. Are we just going to stand back and say, I didn't know what to do? God bless you, people. May you have a beautiful night further. And inbox me or WhatsApp 071 592 3165 for your entries, but don't expect me to deliver them because I don't do deliveries. Okay. Thank you, people, and see you tomorrow night. And it's always, I was speaking to Kurt Schuler this morning, and I said this group is becoming a family. That we can share our experience, strength, and hope with each other. And if it has to be confidential, then it's confidential. God bless you, and God bless the people in London, Scotland, and Spain. And my bestie in Newcastle, in London, Lee J, who puts everything together. Stay safe until we meet again tomorrow evening. Tomorrow evening, myself and the esteemed Dr. Dutoy will be sharing together. She got 18 A's for a medical. 19, sorry, AD. She got 19 A's when she became a doctor. And she'll be sharing some of her experiences and A's to the party. And that was the 3 days I was absent at school. But it takes all types to make this world. So we will be sharing tomorrow night. God bless you. Keep well until we meet again. Thank you. Adrian. I don't know.
Just the one did you stop it, sir?
No, I didn't stop it.